This manga is about the world's strongest rooster. We're talking about someone that can take down kaiju with ease. I'd say he's a more Saitama style main character, where his strength is just as much as it needs to be. Now, you don't need to know how strong he is. The real question is, can he beat Goku? Now, I'm kidding, but I'm just another reader, and today we are reviewing Rooster Fighter. But before we begin, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into chapter 1 to see what you can expect from this manga. This manga begins like every good superhero manga should. A giant monster attacking a city that also has giant boobs for some reason. Attention, a monster has invaded the center of the city. Please evacuate the region as fast as you can. And then we got people running in the crowd, and then we have the classic trope of a mother running with their son, and oh no, one of them has fallen. And we got the monster getting down and grabbing the kid. Yuki, no. And this monster just looking at him, and the kid's crying, he's screaming mom. He's clearly about to get eaten. Monster tosses back her head, mouth open, the kid screaming, don't eat me, you know? And out of nowhere, a comet comes through the sky, and the monster's looking back, palm, and we see a leg, not a human leg, mind you. And we see it's time to stop eating. The lunch is over, demon. But if you are so hungry, why don't you try eating me? Because I'm gonna break some eggs. And you know, we got a nice little title card. We got our main protagonist. And this is a bit of a sick scene. The kid looks weird in this for some reason. They honestly could have cut him out and it would have looked even better. But this is our protagonist. This is our hero. This is a history about a rooster that saved the humanity. The translation for this one's a little weird, but it's good and bad. And we've got his signature fighting phrase, cock-a-doodle-doo, which I find hilarious. 1 year before, we cut back. We've got a nice quiet town, and we got a chicken coop. Coo, coo, doo, coo. And he's getting to work. I can show this on YouTube. It's chickens. It's fine. And he's got himself a little hen that he's hanging out with. You know, he's got a pretty serious face. He's a stone cold hero. He's nothing but business. And then, you know, the hen's hitting us with a little pun. Excuse me? Don't tell me you're already leaving. I am a migratory species. I'm not of the type to be bound to one place. So all what you said is just a lie. I'm at the mate season. Bastard. And so he's traveling now. He's going down. He's looking around. He sees something in the sky. Being the cool rooster that he is, he picks a pebble off the ground and just flings it, knocks the bug out of the air, and that's his lunch. It's a bit bitter, but I think it's better than eating as a turtle. And after all, in my actual situation, it's not like I'm gonna suffer from hunger. And it was not so bad. It's the food that every bird would wish for. The translation, once again, a little iffy, but the story's pretty good. And now we got the rooster seeing some kids, and this is where we get a little bit of his personality. I hate children. Loud, stupid, insensitive, selfish. It's all they know to say about me. A rooster, damn it. You're so beautiful. Are you lost? Do you want some KFC? Are you fucking crazy? And then he just gets grabbed by the neck. I got you. And he's just like, God. And honestly, kids do this. You leave a kid with a chicken long enough and they're just going to grab it by the neck or some part of the body and just pick it up. And the girls are like, you're hurting him. And these young kids just say, shut up, bitch. What are we going to do with the chicken? Let's eat. It's a rooster, idiots. Why don't I feed her to my cat? Seems like a great idea. And, you know, he just jumps out of their arms. Wait a minute, chicken. Damn kids. I narrowly managed to escape. Wait, they still don't give up. And he spots an old man watering the garden. He dashes in, he's like, basically saying, protect me, but all the old man's hearing is like chicken cooing noises. And the kids are running after him. Wait, chicken. Hello, boy. What do you need? This chicken is mine. Give her back. And he's just like, don't do it. Also, something to note, the girls said it's a rooster, you idiot. And he's still calling it a her. Like, this guy has no clue what it is. I think it's a funny little touch, a small note. And the old man's just like, that's strange. He looks like my rooster. What? Kokase. I mispronounced that. I told you not to leave the yard. What? Sorry for the troubles that he caused. It won't happen again. The kids, they're frustrated, but just like, damn, let's go. Old man looks at the rooster. He's like, I got you. And our guy, he's like, I owe you one, Grandpa. That rooster was really from the old man? Idiot, he was lying. Shit. And then something's happening in the distance. We see kind of a hole in the wall. Like, something's happening here. The kids are shocked. A giant hand comes smashing through the wall. And then we cut back to our loving grandfather and this rooster. He's like, I'm sorry, but I have just this. Rice and vegetables. And Grandpa, he bows his head. He's thankful. This is undeniable. Thank you for the food. And he's just going to town. Delicious. It seems very good. And the old man's a little quiet. He's a little solemn old man. Rooster's just looking at him. My wife used to feed the animals here too. I should have told her to stop working while she was healthy. And he just takes a moment, closes his eyes, imagine his wife feeding the birds. You know, this is just a classic. He's just an old man. He's sad. His wife's no longer with him, and he's staring off in the distance. And he looks at the rooster like, oh, sorry, I bothered you. For some reason, I feel I can trust you. And the rooster's just like, Grandpa. And then off in the distance, we see a bit of an explosion. There's shock on the faces. Cars are in the air, hitting the roofs of buildings. People are running. And you can really see the destruction once we go up a little bit. Almost the entire block has been leveled in this little row here. Monster. And the grandpa is looking at the hand, clawing over the building. He's just like, oh my God. Don't forget the paperwork. A monster. And I mean, this is a pretty interesting monster design. It's just a giant hand for the lower half. It's got a little collar with a tie. And then it's mostly head, and the hands are coming out of the ears. I love this. This is amazing. And the kids that were chasing our rooster earlier, they're screaming, help us. And the rooster's just like the kids from before. And of course, one of them falls. The old man's shocked. The monster sees it, and he is about to be monster food. I'm gonna kill everyone. What the hell is this thing? Grandpa. The grandpa jumps on top of the big kid. He's trying to protect him. The claw is coming down on top of them. And what's this? We've got the comet coming back. Monster's giving him a little side eye. We see little rooster claws skidding across the ground. Maybe even a Akira slide, you could say. And the rooster turns around, looks at the monster just like, what are you going to do about that? Monster charges at him. He's like, hey, why did you try to kill the kids and Grandpa? Face me. Let's finish this at once. You know, this badass hero we've got here, he may be a rooster. He may be just a lowly chicken. But to underestimate him is a mistake. I actually really like that it ends on this to be continued for the first chapter. Because as a reader, it's like, all right, you got me to go to the next chapter. Let's continue this ride. And first off, this manga is currently not that long. There's only about 15 chapters out. But I just had to talk about it because one, I have been seeing so many tweets about it, just like, what is this manga? What is this insane manga where this rooster is fighting monsters to such a degree? And I'm also not gonna say what happens in this fight because I think one of the best surprises I've seen in a manga happens in the next chapter where we see how this rooster truly fights. And let me tell you, that alone is a reason to pick up this manga. I said earlier in the review, this is a bit more like a One Punch Man protagonist, where the fighting, yes, it is an aspect of the manga, but it's more about the stories that occur around him. And we see this happen in chapter 1 quite clearly with the old grandpa. Like, he scolds the kids a little bit, but he doesn't have anything against the kids because he willingly sacrifices his life to attempt to protect them by jumping over them when the monster's coming at them. But like, that old man has his own story. He had a loving wife. And yes, it's a very short tad bit on who that old man is, but you can expect some more interesting stories from other background characters or characters that join our hero on their journey. And I really like that aspect of a manga like this, because One Punch Man is great not because of the fights, but because of Saitama's personality and the people he surrounds himself with, like Genos or King. I am willing to say that Rooster Fighter is a manga that, if it gets its chance to have its run to go maybe to 60 chapters from its currently 15, I think we're gonna have a great story with a lot of interest. This could be the next big thing. I'm willing to put my word on the line for that. Honestly, this is like a good 7 out of 10. I don't want to grade it a little higher just because I stopped at chapter 15 and the story's getting kind of good. I'm like, ooh, maybe something crazy happens here. What's gonna happen? But I will leave it at that. 7 out of 10. I'm looking forward to just seeing where this manga goes. It's very early in its inception, but there's a lot of comedic elements available that I just want to see what the author does to explore those elements. Also, the art's great. The monster designs are great. The hero, even as a rooster, looks imposing, which I love. And I think it's due to the close-up shots that we aren't getting a human perspective. We are getting a chicken's perspective in this world, and he is quite an intimidating chicken. Also, that's the end of the review. I want to talk about some other things on this channel. Thank you for all the support. We are up to about 60 subscribers now, and I've been getting a lot of views on the video. I've been doing horror for the past 3 videos, and that's just because I fell down a rabbit hole with that author. There was some other stuff from that author that we'll have to check out later, but I'm like, let's cover something a little more lighter, comedic this week. And Rooster Fighter is something that kind of fell in my lap from a Twitter post I saw. I had another one planned for this week, which was also lighter and comedic. I think I'll save that for next week. It's a bit of a rom-com, which is one of my favorite genres. But this one has a interesting twist, and I think doing that back-to-back with Rooster Fighter would be really fun. But I'm just another reader. Thank you so much for all the support my channel's been getting. See you next time.